What's going on? Welcome to another session of Quarantine Conversations. I have a special guest here tonight, one of Houston's own, fan favorite, uh, man, Mo City, High Tower, a former Aggie. Shout out to Danuel House for joining the Quarantine Conversations, man. What up, House?
Man, what's up, man? I'm glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Nah, man, I appreciate you taking time out, man, and sit in with me for a second, man. Let's chop it up, man. I think a lot of people would like to know from, because just what's going on now. The NBA, we're missing sports, right? And
Correct.
so the NBA is the sport that would be going on right now. Playoffs would be going
Happening.
on. Yeah, the
Yeah.
playoffs would be going on right now. You've been one of the guys on the playoff team. I think a lot of people would like to hear, just hear your thoughts about kind of like I told you, man, kind of like what you've been doing, how you've been handling it, man, how you trying to stay in shape. So just kind of tell us about how you been, man. Just, from a mental and physical standpoint, how you been dealing with all this.
Mentally, I'm at a good place because a lot of people that I know are COVID-19 free. So mentally, I think that would be like the first priority during all this drama that's going on during the pandemic. So I just focus solely. So I look out to reach out to people, see if everybody's okay, and then ease my mind when I'm going to go jog, or if I'm going to go work on my ball handling, or if I'm even shooting on the goal outside my house here that we got outside. It can get a little windy out here, so
Yeah.
it actually helps you to focus and lock in on your follow through. So it just gives us the time to go back and actually spend time with one another, enjoy each other's company, and really, this epidemic is really it shows people who really care about one another. You get what I'm saying? Because it's supposed to be selfless, like you're supposed to help prevent. So we're doing a good job as like, even like for the NBA, they trying to make provisions so guys can come back up there. So we can just get like one at a time or one-on-one type action, and then just do your workout, shower, get up out of there so you can be free. So the league, we're having a good meeting tomorrow, so around like 6:30. So I'll probably keep you updated once you invite me back, so I can tell you what's going on about that.
So, man, you talked about, it was a big news break a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, that the NBA, some NBA facilities, practice facilities, we're going to try to reopen. So, is Rockets, the Toyota Center, one of those facilities?
For the moment, I don't know. So I'm gonna hopefully we find out a little bit more tomorrow.
Okay. So, all right. So, man, just talk about how hard, or has it been hard for you trying to do your own workout regimen, so to speak? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have the access to the gyms and to your trainers and the stuff you're used to. Has it been hard?
Yeah. Of course, it's a real life adjustment, because now that it ain't just get in the car, go to the gym. No one's tripping. Now it's like you can't go to the gym. You really don't need to leave your house. You got to wear a mask.
Right.
Who gonna wear a mask in the gym with your trainer trying to work out and work on your ball handling, barely can breathe? And so now that kicks into play. But the regimen, some of my regimens is simple stuff. Like it's just simply fundamentally sound stuff that can kind of keep your game fine tuned.
And so what's been the biggest thing, or what's been the hardest thing that you've had to be disciplined about during this time off?
Man, eating and just getting comfortable. Right now, it's easy to get sucked into being comfortable, but I don't want to be comfortable right now.
Right. So I know you talked a little bit about, having to go outside and get shots up on the goal at the crib. Man, how is that mindset of just like, man, I'm pretty sure you haven't played outside or worked out outside, since yeah. So like, how is that mindset of actually like you getting out there and like, all right, man, like I gotta get this work. I gotta do something. I gotta be productive. How is your mindset being to actually be productive while you out there?
Man, it's actually fun though, man. It just takes you back to when you started off with the game when it was just like you and a ball.
Right.
Man, it's like, man, this is what I used to, man, I used to endure a lot to get to where I am today. So it's just, like I said, this pandemic is just an eye opener. It just takes you back. It lets you memorize and think about good memories and good times that you have. Because you think about it, we took multiple steps in order to get here, not just all of a sudden college, boom, boom. So I just kind of kept up with a couple of my regiments, and we said for family members over here and they up, shit, like a friend or something, would come over here just to get away from everything that's going on, because his wife is like, she's like on the front line of dealing with the people that may have caught COVID-19 or getting tested for it. So she's in the front line. So it's stressing him out. So we come over here and we just play 21 or have a shooting competition to keep it. But then not only that, we just found a way to just, like I said, have fun. Go back to the old days where we used to drink water from the side of the house instead of going in the house when you was thirsty because you didn't want to miss that.
Yeah, yeah. I was telling somebody the other day, bro, like this is going to be, and I know it's hard for everybody, man, but just from a basketball standpoint, you're going to really find out who really was like, and a lot of guys probably never played outside because the league is fairly like really young. So some of these guys as rookies, first, second, third years, they probably never had to play outside. And you're young yourself, but being from Texas, I know you played outside before and grew up like that. So
Yeah.
a lot of people don't even know how that feels to have to be outside and you know what I'm saying, and daydream and imagine like to be where you at now. Like myself included, like I remember them days. Like, all right, outside, I'm Michael Jordan or whoever. I'm Penny Hart or whoever it was, and I'm out there just creating and trying to, being creative and imaginative about, all right, this is what I want to do. And you know what I'm saying, when I get in this situation in this game, like just. So I think, it's going to help some guys, but I also understand how difficult it is for some guys who may be in like the bigger markets, like a New York or Chicago, where they might not have, the actual their living circumstances don't give them the availability to have a home. They might be living in an apartment building, or so their space and their ability to actually work out or have access to a goal is limited.
Correct. So yeah, that's why people that if you do have one, just be grateful for it and take advantage of it. That's all it is. It just gives you an advantage. Like it's time for you to really put your words into action and not talk about it.
Right. So
this quarantine, like you was about to say, you was like, this quarantine is gonna show who's been working at it and who hasn't. When we come back, when it comes down to it. When it comes back to it, in the playoffs, we probably play a few games if they come back, and then probably jump right into the playoffs. So it's gonna be hectic. It's gonna be a lot going on. It's gonna be a lot on the fly stuff. So we just gotta wait and see, kind of basically, and wait for call by call to see how they will handle everything. So right now we don't know nothing. So we just been out here just like you said, staying in shape, trying to motivate one another, trying to stay hungry, and we none of us know when the return date could possibly be, or if the season is over, or if it's gonna continue on.
Was based on kind of what you've been hearing or chatter or through the wire, how optimistic are you that the season will resume, whether it's straight to the playoffs or if you play a few games and then get to the playoffs? Like, do you think it's going to resume sometime?
I don't think so, because they're saying it's supposed to be a second wave.
Right.
So with now we thought we could handle the first wave. We couldn't really handle the first wave. So now we just like, dang, how big is the second wave gonna be? So now it's got everybody really thinking, like, is stepping outside really worth it? So I just think once they figure out what they're gonna do with this second wave, or what's going on with the second wave, or the ordeal that's going on, and how we can handle it, I think we'll have a better answer for everything. because they really don't know. We really don't know. And a phone call today, well, not a phone call, a little chat today said that they think it's two different types of COVID-19. A lot of people don't know that. They thinking it's just one. It's one in Italy that can cause your feet to clot up, and you can get rashes and stuff like that, and that can be the start of the symptom. And then, of course, it's the other one that's a cough. So, like, now they just getting more data and more info about this. So I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking that the season is over with because they don't know. We really don't know what it is and what's going on and how to handle it and how to cure it. Because now they're saying there's two different types of it. So it's a head scratcher. So I feel like the season is over with because since it's two different strains possibly, that's a mind blower because you don't want to risk anyone's family member being hurt or getting sick, or even guys that got kids that's gonna go back home and your kids gonna be all in your face and stuff. And the harsh reality, if you catch that stuff and then you go back home and give it to your kids, how could you live with yourself? So it's a lot. It's a lot to come into play with that. But like I said, I'm pretty sure the league's gonna take the safest route to make sure that everybody can still end up finding a way to get paid and be happy, and that we can continue the game one day.
Well, man, yeah, like you saying, it's definitely a lot of variables, right? To even get this thing back started, and a lot of them you can't even, like, you can't pinpoint, you can't control. So I mean, that's the scary part about it. Like you saying, like somebody could have COVID-19 and not even know it, and just like it's too much stuff that you have. And I'm saying this to say that I'm hoping that somehow stuff can get better, and there's a plan and way that we can get basketball back, at least to finish the playoffs. But I do understand, and I'm kind of with you, man. And I didn't even know the fact about the second type of COVID-19. But I'm with you, man. I'm like, it's just too much that we don't know yet for this.
Us to risk it.
Yeah, like
us to risk it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we talking the safety of everybody, not just the players, but the safety of everybody is more important than
it's legacy. This is legacy. This is bloodlines. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it. You know what I mean? Like people don't understand. Like kids is predestined. So you don't want to kind of mess your child's future up or put your child in harm's way, especially when you feel like your child is making strides and steps. You know what I mean? You don't want to. That's a real momentum killer if that was to happen, because now you got to overbeat it. And then you got to tell people that you got it, because people gonna have to know, because now everyone around you got to get tested just in case to see that. So like I said, there's a lot going on with that. And like I said, if the United States want to stop the spread, of course, so the league's going to do everything to make sure that everything is handled in the safest manner, as safe as possible. So that's why I'm kind of glad about everything, and how they're taking their time and not rushing, just thinking about, oh, we're losing this type of money. No, they're actually looking at, like, all right, our players and our families and fans and friends can actually be hurt. So let's take a deeper look into this situation before we just make a judgment. So shout out to the NBA for taking their time and, like, really showing people that the NBA does care about people and their players.
Right. And you mentioned the fans, man. Like, I know one of the things that's been mentioned about possibly getting back to basketball is it would have to be, or it possibly would have to be without fans. Like, that's unimaginable, especially for us playing in the U.S. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I mean, it's more realistic in Europe. But for this to possibly be the way it might be in the U.S., like, what's your thoughts on that, man?
Man, I think, like, you need the fans there, man. You need the fans there because the fans bring the emotional part to the game. That's what make the playoffs the playoffs. It's more so of the basketball, but it's also the environment, the fans, the crowd, like, because the fans are the momentum. If the fans' energy is good and they're into the game, they're gonna give it to you, and then you can just, you know what I'm saying? You know how it goes as being a basketball player. So without the fans, there's no emotion. Like, where the fun is. It's going to be just like 5-on-5, a close scrimmage, but that's not close.
Right. I mean, you definitely without the fans, it changes the dynamics of everything. You know, it changes the dynamics of the atmosphere. Like you said, the adrenaline, it changes everything. But at the same time, if that's if that was to be the case, I mean, you have to go out there and and make it work. You know what I'm saying? Because that's at
Yeah.
that point, if you're back working, that's your job. So you got to go
Yes,
out
it
there and
does.
do your job. You know what I'm saying? And do it the best way you can because if the season continues, you guys are still competing for a championship possibly. So
Correct.
like I said, that just be one of them lessons. I mean, one of them things where life goes on. It's unfortunate, and it wouldn't be, it would be different, and it wouldn't be the same. But it'd be interesting to see, man.
Yeah.
I know we ran into each other. Walking out, our families were walking down the street a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I was talking to you, man, just about how you felt about the season ending abruptly and where you was at, in your career, and you still at the beginning of your career, man, and you bet on yourself, and it's working out for you. Just
Mhm.
talk a little bit about that right now, like the season you were having, the season you guys were, the changes you guys kind of made going forward, getting ready for the playoffs, kind of where your mind was at when the news first broke.
Man, when the news first broke, I was kind of shocked, of course. Actually, I just like when the news broke for us, I was just not landing in LA. So I had to basically like skedaddle on the pavement a little bit, let the plane charge, and get back on there and come back. So I was kind of happy that they was making provisions for us to come back, but then I was also kind of sad because, like you said, I was having an okay year. Like a lot of people don't know, this was going to be my first full official NBA full out season from start to finish. So I was really excited about it. And then I felt like I was taking great strides and developing into something that can really help this team blossom when it comes down time to it, especially with the small ball lineup that we have now. And the trade, since we traded Clint Capella away and added Rob Covington. So it gave us basically like a 5-out type of stance. So I was really happy about it because now I get to really showcase like rip through, be athletic, showcase a little bit more of my game to the people, especially in playoffs. And then everyone knows that the game slows down in playoffs. So especially having a 5-guard offensive lineman, a 5-guard offensive power punch, you get to shoot a lot of threes. A lot of people don't know that. Like the game is transitioned over to a lot of threes now. And when you got everybody out there that can shoot over 35%, that makes your team so much more dangerous and so much more harder to guard.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was your initial thoughts? Did you feel like, without, I mean, you can only say so much, but without, what did you feel about the initial, like, man, we getting rid of Capella? Because, I mean, for the for the past couple of years, Capella has been a big part of what the Rockets have been doing.
Sorry about that signal.
Yeah, so when the trade initially happened, y'all got rid of Capella and they told y'all, look, man, this is the direction we going. We basically gonna play little league ball. Like
Look,
basically y'all out there playing little league ball, man. James Harden jumping center. Y'all got five guards. Y'all got 5 guards on the court, man. Like, what was your initial thought about that? Like, did it take some time getting used to? Like, all right, man, this could work, or like, was you real skeptical? Like, man, how this gonna look?
nah, I just like when management do something, everybody know. Like with management, once management do it, it's done.
Right.
So it's nothing you can really do. But I think with them doing it, it's just gonna actually make us play better because now we actually all got a rebound. We actually got a box out. We got a guard because we can't no longer rely on Clint back there to get those rebounds and make up for those defensive slip ups if you get blown by one dribble drive to the rim because we not as big. We may be somewhat athletic, but not all the way athletic. So that trade, when they did that trade, everybody was just like, "What?" But I think like he made the trade, and then like I think we ended up playing like LA, and we end up winning that game. Everybody else started saying like, "Oh well, the small ball maybe have a chance," and we beat a healthy Lakers team. So that's when everybody really gave us a good look. So at first, the initial action was like, "Wow, okay," but then it's just like when you get to hooping and you love the game so much and you love to compete, just be like, "All right, I'm just gonna go get that rebound." And then next thing you know, your rebound totals is up. So it's a good tactic to help the guys that are playing pretty much dude, to like basically get more involved and vocal in the game.
So for you, like you mentioned, man, you mentioned like this was gonna be, well, this is your first full season, right? Whether you
Mm-hmm.
finish it or not, like you're on a 3-year contract, so you're gonna finish the season regardless.
Yep,
You
I'm
know, you
finished.
so uh, what's the dynamics of you guys' team? Like playing with, how is it playing with? You got two superstars on your team that you get to play with, man.
Mm-hmm.
How is that? How is that dynamic for you? For you specifically?
That dynamic is good because it's teaching me. I get to learn a lot from two future Hall of Famers, and I get to just critique it and then add it to my game. So all I want to do is just make sure that I'm getting better every year. So that's why I'm always trying to pay attention and just listen and do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying, in order for us to win. So when it's my turn one day, hopefully that I can be at the top of everything.
Man, that's what's up. So we're gonna end with this, man.
Mm-hmm.
The whole possibilities of the season returning, be your first playoffs. How realistic are you guys about? How confident are you guys about actually making a push to?
I'm confident, confident because it's like I said, a lot of people, the league is transitioning over to threes. A lot of people, not too many people work on their post-up game. So guess what? You think about it. If you haven't really been shooting and locking into your jump shot over this break, it's going to cost you because, of course, everybody's going to be really detail-oriented about keeping people out of the paint, especially for playoffs. So,
But I mean, yes, you got. I mean, you guys are known. You've taken over the whole. Y'all have taken it to a whole new level. Your organization, your philosophy about shooting threes.
yeah.
But let's just say a matchup between you guys and Denver, right? Say you have to meet Denver.
Yep.
Denver has a player that can post up. Jokic, he has work down there,
Correct.
a lot of work.
Yep.
Do you have any reservations about possibly guys having to deal with that? Say you run into one like an Anthony Davis, say y'all, you know what I'm saying, or Jokic, or a guy who actually does take up that low post space and actually utilizes it.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. Every time you take a two, and if you don't make it and you miss, we come down and hit a three, and you isolate your team trying to overdo it because that's what a lot of people do. They be like, "Oh, it's small ball, I'm finna take him to the post," and then they don't know. They're like, "All right, we're small, but we kind of scrappy. We're actually tough, or we athletic, or we game plan a way to where it can help us, scheme and plot in order to stop people. So we won't be so vulnerable and so small." So that's why I laugh about it because I think like a lot of, like I said, like you said, a lot of people is transitioning over to a system that the Rockets kind of like somewhat started, or D'Antoni. So it is a lot of people catching up to us, and we're gonna kind of make tweaks and make sure that, of course, like we keep the upper hand. But I feel like I said, we game plan to cue to where our size does not impact our heart and our opportunity to win the game.
I mean, y'all have a unique way about playing.
Mm-hmm.
You got two future Hall of Famers leading the way for you guys. Uh, it's for me, man. It's hard watching y'all just because
I
I don't.
mean, you went to Duke. You underneath the umbrella of the ball movement, so you like to see
Nah,
ball
it's
movement.
not.
You like to see
It's not
screen.
even that, bro. It's just like I'm trying to wrap my head around like y'all got 5 guards on the court. My thing. Here's my question. Here's my real question. You don't think y'all? Well, it's helping y'all if the season come back because now you got guys like PJ Tucker, yourself, the guys who were more responsible for the defense, the tough defense assignments. You guys are resting up now, but you don't think you guys was getting wore out right before the season got suspended, based on the
Yeah.
fact, like you said, you guys everybody had to focus in on rebounding now. You know, defense is a little bit tougher because you don't necessarily have a rim protector back there. Like, you don't think that was going to play a role in you guys like getting worn out throughout that stretch?
I think it was gonna be fun because it was gonna actually challenge us. How many times could we actually get a stop without fouling, without giving up an offensive rebound, beating people to the spot? So I think it would have been fun. And then when we made that trade, everyone like we dropped out of the odds of winning the championship. So basically people was like, nah. So we end up just executing and hooping. Like you said, just go out there and hoop, and we end up hooping and then do our stuff and end up making it. It's really gonna shock a lot of people, but that's what I like about it. That small ball can kind of open up a lot of things, man. Like you see a lot of the floor that a lot of people can't even imagine. So I just want to see it develop. Of course, it had to be paused for a moment because the epidemic, but when we go back, and if we go back, I can't wait to hoop because I really want to see how it develop because it's a plan that management made, and they made it, and they didn't have any second thoughts or doubts about it. So I can't wait for it. Even I'm waiting for it to just play itself out.
Right. Well, man, bro, I mean, like I said, I think we across just around the world, man, I think everybody's hoping and that the NBA can get back, and not just the NBA, but other sports that's following behind the NBA season, but specifically the NBA because NBA would be in season right now. So, I mean, I'm hoping that we can get at least some playoff basketball, sometime in the next couple of months, man. But
Yeah.
man, I appreciate you taking the time, bro, and chopping it up with me.
Yeah, thank you for having me, bro.
No, all good, man. Like I said, I think a lot of people, like I said, want to hear from guys like yourself, like guys in the NBA. We're not hearing a lot from you guys right now, so I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? You shed some light on what you've been doing and your thoughts kind of on the season and getting back to it, man. But I appreciate you, bro. You take care of that family over there, man. Y'all be good.
All right, you do the same, brother.
For sure, man. Appreciate it.